What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another full self-driving video in the Cybertruck. We just got a full self-driving update 12.5.5.3, so a very, very small update, but there's a lot going on here. Number one, first of all, I want to talk about, I have a little error message down here. I know I can't still record the screen. Me and Chuck Cook and some others are trying to get that done to make the videos better, but for now, this is the best we can do. And it says rear motor disabled, speed limited to 65 miles per hour, power may be reduced. So yeah, my rear motor has died on my Cybertruck. I'm gonna make a whole video about that. That'll be in the future, but it's pretty much a known issue in the early VINs. My VIN is about 2100, and it is a recall, but I had just had the Cybertruck in service, and the recall came like right after I was in service. I wish they would have just done it while I was there, but of course the service team, if the recall's not actually out, they don't, have that information and blah, blah, blah. So unfortunate that that's the way it worked out. I'm hopefully getting a loaner from Tesla, whatever. That'll be in another video. What's interesting though, is we can still use FSD. So here we are with FSD enabled on the Cybertruck on the latest update with the rear motor not working. Now this leads to a few really annoying things. A top speed of 65 miles per hour is pretty garbage, especially when you get on the highway. It is not fun at all. Now, there should be a lot of traffic, I'm guessing, tonight, so at least for most of the drive, so that shouldn't matter too much. Off highway, it doesn't matter, but acceleration is severely reduced, especially when you're turning, first coming out of a turn or something. It's kind of a weird experience. And really unfortunate that it's happening, but the good news is that, of course, it's under warranty. Tesla's going to take care of it. And what's really cool is even though one of the two motors on this thing is basically dead, I can still drive it. I can still get around. I wouldn't want to use it any more than I have to in this state, but according to the screen and everything I've seen online and everything, you should be good to go. You shouldn't really have a problem. But anyway, the focus of tonight's video is this latest update on the Cybertruck, the latest full self-driving update on the Cybertruck. I guess this update also killed my motor because this is the first time I used my Cybertruck after this update, this happened. But nah, probably just a coincidence. So there's a few things we're looking for. Now, I've been driving this a bit already. I've done highway driving, and I've done some other stuff with it, and it's hard. So when Cybertruck first got FSD, it was really bad in a couple of areas. Number one, it was always going off the lane lines, especially on the highway around bends. It would like just drive over the white or yellow lines. It was really awful. And then the turning, so it would turn either way too sharp or not sharp enough and like go over curbs and stuff. And we got the first Cybertruck update, which was 12.5.5.2, the one right before this. And I was like, yo, this actually seems better. These things are a lot better. But then they started regressing again within that update where the highway going over the lane lines and stuff was even worse. It was crazily going over the lane lines. And these are things that I do not experience in our Model Y that has hardware 4 and 12.5.6, whatever it's on right now. So going over the lane lines and the turning, now the turning has been a lot better in the last update, but we're gonna kind of look out for that here. So we have some in the beginning here off highway. We're gonna get onto the highway, do a lot of highway driving, and then we're gonna get back off the highway. Why Cybertruck is still on this older version, 12.5.5, hardware 3 people are in like 12.5.2, I wanna say, something like that. It's hard to keep everything straight. And then hardware 4 is on 12.5.6. It's just like all over the place. Maybe hardware 3 is now on 12.5.4, but there's a bunch of different FSD versions out there still. I gotta imagine Tesla doesn't like having things that way. But one of the main things we need here on Cybertruck is those speed profiles that we have on hardware 4 make the experience so much better. So overall, we're gonna see tonight if the Cybertruck can drive me home. It's just taking me home tonight. Like I said, there's highway, off highway, there's gonna be some dirt roads and everything. And we'll see how it does. Overall, the driving that I've experienced today has been good. It's just that the main thing with the rear motor is kind of weirding me out, not being able to accelerate fully and stuff. But anyway, we'll let it do everything and see if it can get us A to B safely or if I need to help it out.
This video is brought to you by Joa, my choice for premium Tesla and vehicle accessories. Claim your exclusive discount with the link in the description below.
All right, so first right turn here, well, second right turn, I guess, if you count the roundabout. And it's at a stop sign here, so we turned our turn signal on nice and early. We're stopping behind this bus, and bus has to wait for one car. So all good there. So, wow, nice acceleration up to the line here. So let's quickly get our full stop in. We do have a vehicle to our left that we have to yield to. And as soon as they go by, I would expect acceleration now. There we go. So we accelerate into that turn as the person's passing us. Beautifully done. Let's feel this acceleration here. It can only accelerate so much. I mean, Let me put it to the pedal to the floor really quick. That's it. That's as fast as it will accelerate. I don't want to intervene any more than that. I just kind of wanted to show you. Cybertruck is very, very limited right now. And then we got our unprotected left turn coming up here. So we're braking, and we'll turn into that braking. Very nice. That's the other thing that we are looking out for here is Cybertruck often in the last update. I didn't get a chance to put the video out about it, but late braking was awful. And I had several times, I didn't ever get it on camera, but I had several times where the Cybertruck actually was emergency braking because, like, while in FSD, because it would come up so close to the person in front of it, it would trigger itself to emergency brake. I don't know if you've ever experienced automatic emergency braking in any vehicle. It is not a pleasant experience, especially if you have somebody behind you. I mean, it is like the thing is stopping. It's like you hit a wall, it stops so hard. So definitely a bad experience there. And then on this road, our speed limit is actually 55 miles per hour, and Cybertruck's going about 38. So we may have an intervention here if I need to make it go faster, but I'll give it a second to figure this out. So there you go, getting past there. That's pretty normal. I actually have my foot directly on the accelerator right now because if I let off, since no one's behind me, I can now show you. As soon as I let off the accelerator, Cybertruck is hitting the brakes there and slowing us way too far down. Again, speed limit here is 55, so this is a big fat intervention, we'll call it, in that I have to get the Cybertruck up to speed. All right, we have another unprotected left here, and this one is usually pretty tough. It's hard to see. There are cars to our right, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm surprised the Cybertruck can even see them because this B-pillar camera is so far back, but it did a great job of waiting for them, and now we have someone to our left, and it looks like Cybertruck perfectly waited for both sides to clear, and now it's continuing. Very nice. Need a little more acceleration on that road since everybody's driving so quickly, but really can't complain. It did do everything correctly there. Very nice to see, especially because a long time ago, that was a turn that FSD just simply could not complete because it would hesitate too much and it would pull out in front of people when they were coming. It was chaos. So we've about finished here with the off-highway portion, at least the first part. There's gonna be another part at the end. And Cybertruck's about to merge on the highway. Tiny bit nervous about it. Not mostly because of FSD, but mostly because of our missing acceleration. But to be fair, FSD doesn't normally accelerate that hard getting onto the highway anyway. So we should be good, but we're gonna be going pretty slow. And now here's where it's gonna get difficult. So we're wide and clear here so we can hop right on. So beautiful acceleration right up to, bam, that's just about as fast. I don't know what FSD is doing in its head and its thinking, if it's got the pedal to the floor and it thinks it's trying to go faster or whatever, but this is the max speed. My Cybertruck in the state it's in cannot go any faster than this. This is it. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't try to pass like a semi or something because, you know, if a semi is going 63 and we try to pass it at 64, 65, that's not gonna be a fun time. I may put a stop to that just because I don't physically have an ability to go any faster than this right now. So it's kind of crazy, but we'll let it play out. Could this rear motor thing be interfering with the way FSD behaves and drives? Of course it's possible, but at the end of the day, I'm just a guy who owns a Cybertruck with FSD and I'm making videos about it. So this is my Cybertruck, this is FSD, this is how it's behaving, so we'll keep testing it out, even in these weird conditions. Never thought I'd be doing a full self-driving video with one of my motors disabled. Never, ever would have guessed that. But here we are, and you know what? I gotta say, it's working really well so far. Oh boy, so we're going for the pass here. Not exactly excited about it, but since there's an open lane still to the left, I'll let it play out and see what happens. It also is getting pretty dark here. A lot of you are always requesting I do night drives. I do have night drives. Just search my channel. I have lots of them. I don't know, people just are more skeptical that FSD is gonna work, you know, well at night or in the dark or something. I don't seem to find any huge difference. Like, it's not like it clearly is way worse at night or clearly it's way better at night. But a lot of times what you'll get going for you is if you're going out late enough where it's dark out, there's not much traffic, and so that can, you know, kind of aid you in that. So hopefully we'll pass this semi and immediately move over. That is what I'm hoping FSD, yeah, nice, all right. So we'll get over here. So that was a beautiful pass here, especially considering, again, the current limitation of 64, 65 miles an hour being our top speed. Really nice maneuver there. And we'll continue on our way in the dark. Shouldn't be a problem, but if there's any issue, we'll check it out. All right, so we're going for another pass here. Personally, I would just chill. I mean, there's a lot of traffic, but whatever. There's a lot of times where FSD's gone for this kind of pass, and I'm like, I'm just going to stay here. And then I end up regretting it. It would have been the right decision. So obviously for a video, I'm not going to interfere with something like that. But here we are. We moved over here nicely. Spacing between the car in front of us and everything is good. Just waiting here to see if we get some hard braking. But seems everything is still flowing. Yeah, I think these guys are slowing down. There we go. Cybertruck keeping a nice distance. Braking is absolutely perfect. Not too hard, not late in any sense. So really glad to see that. It's not like the emergency braking and hard braking was happening 100% of the time, but it was very common. I would say that late braking in Cybertruck on FSD was like 50% of the braking or something. It was pretty crazy. So if nothing else, it does seem there's an improvement. It doesn't mean it's never going to happen again. I wouldn't think that. But what I'm feeling right here, right now, really, really good. Well, as I'm sure you could see, even in the fast-forwarded video, everybody was passing me that whole time. Pretty typical, but hey, we stayed in the right lane. That's no big deal. And happy to report that was very uneventful. We made a couple lane changes. Everything, I would call that pretty close to perfect. The going over the lane lines didn't happen to me one time today, and that was a pretty common occurrence on that exact stretch of road, both going north and south, multiple times before. So, you know, before I get too many miles, I'm always hesitant to say anything is fixed, but I will definitely say that it's improved because I was seeing it often before and I haven't seen it yet once on this version, which is really good. And then this stopping here, again, like perfect. Oh my goodness. Cybertruck was stopping so late, and I have seen it stop late once today, but it still kept it smooth at the end, even though it was a little too late. Didn't have any emergency braking, which was not that common, but it happened enough that I was like, oh my gosh, this is awful. And so, yeah, we're just going to flow right through that light. We're going to follow this semi. Very nice. Wow, all of this feels really good. This is actually a very impressive drive. It feels really good. We have some cars to contend with. It's not the craziest traffic, but it's a fine balance of finding the right things, because if you just have bumper-to-bumper, deathly traffic, then you can't really move or do anything. So that's not exciting. If there's no cars around, you know, also that's not as exciting. But this kind of mix of like a moderate amount of traffic and cars to deal with is a lot nicer. Cybertruck's trying to decide if it wants to stop for that pickup over there, and it does not, which is good. I would not do that either. But yeah, holy moly, this is feeling pretty good. We got one big obstacle up here. This left turn has always been really difficult for FSD. It's been better in these later version 12 versions. But it's still a pretty difficult one, so we'll see if it can handle it. But yeah, so far we're at 0 disengagements, and I just had the one intervention, right? I just pressed the accelerator for the wrong speed limit, so pretty nice. Very happy with the way Cybertruck is driving here. Nice speed. We do need to get over here because we have a left turn coming up, and people tend to camp this left lane, but this guy's gonna go in the right lane to get around us, which is good. And it is the next turn here, so really nice. We're gonna get right into our lane here. And now this is the kind of difficult one. It's a weird turn, and I remember when we first moved here, even I had trouble with this one because it's really intimidating. You pull up to this stop sign here. Let me see if I can get my camera glasses on for you. And traffic's coming at you at 60 miles an hour, and you're like, yo, can I go, or are these people gonna run into me, or what is going on here? So we'll make our complete stop here. We got a couple of vehicles to wait for, and then we should be clear. I think FSD is actually going to do this pretty perfectly here. We got one more vehicle here to wait for. Let's see it. It's rolling it. Oh my goodness. Absolutely perfectly handled. Unbelievable. And you know, you might be saying, okay, there's just a few cars there. But let me tell you, before version 12, that was an impossible nearly impossible maneuver for FSD for a few reasons. Number one, it could not get itself up to that stop sign correctly. It would go to make the turn and it would be like this, like sideways in the lane, like where it's supposed to be. Now version 12 can pretty much perfectly get up to that stop sign every time. And then number two, it would hesitate because it always felt like FSD could not see far enough down the road, and it would never go because it didn't know if cars were coming or not. I swear, I have no proof, but just based off feel, I swear FSD could not see far enough, so it was not confident to move across there. Now, it, as you saw, can see, it seems good enough, and it'll go through there really nicely. My only thing that I could see improved there is I would like the acceleration to be harder off of that stop, just because traffic is coming from so fast at you. Even if it's clear, when you start the maneuver, cars could come up on you really quickly if you slowly move across that gap. And normally you wouldn't have FSD accelerating like a bat out of hell, but in certain circumstances you do want it, and that's one of them. I would love to see FSD just absolutely smash the accelerator to get through that, even if it was a bit uncomfortable for people, just because that's the type of kind of intersection that is. So we're almost done here, and it looks like we're going to have a really nice performance. Let's hope we have a deer or something jump out in front of us and see how the Cybertruck reacts to that. Oh man, we got a phantom wipe here. I'm just gonna leave it. Cybertruck's auto wipers don't seem to be quite as good as the Y. I know that's still a complaint for a lot of people. In the Model Y, it seems to work really well for me. I don't drive it as much as I used to, but from the driving I do, it seems to work really well. Cybertruck just seems a little bit behind in both directions. So we have this, wiping for no reason right now. And also sometimes when it's raining, when you're on auto, it just won't quite wipe, at least when I want it to. So I'll have to initiate that sometimes. Whoa, buddy, I don't know what to say, y'all, but that was a nearly perfect drive. I mean, I did not have to do anything. I pressed the accelerator one time because we were going during one section because we were going too slow. But other than that, I mean, we would have arrived, 1 or 2 minutes later if I hadn't done that, and that is it. It's not like it was critical to the drive or anything. I was just trying to be courteous to that person behind me, but they ended up passing me anyway. So here we are on the dirt. I'm gonna lift my suspension up now, as I do when I get onto the dirt. And yeah, here's the stats for the drive. We're at 33 miles and 1 intervention, no disengagements. This is by far the best Cybertruck drive I have had yet, and I've done a lot of Cybertruck FSD drives on and off camera. This does feel really good. I'm not saying that the update exactly did it, but maybe they were able to tweak a lot of stuff with this one small update and kind of fix a lot of things I've been complaining about, like the late braking and driving outside of the lanes. Maybe Cybertruck is starting to learn its size and act appropriately for its weight and dimensions, because wow. I mean, I just chilled here the whole time and talked to you. That's all I did. Very impressive stuff. I hope you enjoyed this one, and maybe, you need to destroy your rear motor needs to die for you to have some good FSD drives. But overall, I hope you enjoyed this one. You will see me in FSD in the next video.